Hello everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Dual Universe. This is a popular sci-fi MMO which is currently in beta and is developed by a studio called Novaquark. If you're new to my channel, then please hit that subscribe button, as I've been covering DU for the last couple of years, mainly lately this year as it's gone to its beta phase of development as I just mentioned. Now today, a brand new update has released for the game. This is the Beta 1 R0.23. It introduces a ton of new features and a ton of improvements to the game. Ideally, I'd class this update as a rebalancing update, as that's what it's done. Now, I'm going to critique this update today, constructively mind you, and basically chat about my thoughts on it and share the details with you. This update has certainly shook up the community in a way, in a good and bad way at the same time. There is definitely people on both sides of the fence, and some in the middle, probably a bit like myself in a way, but overall, we'll share some opinions on this update. So what's actually happened? Well, a ton of new features have included. When I say a ton, I kind of include the improvements in that, almost like a feature in a way. Well, basically, this update does revolve on the rebalancing of industry. Industry being how you make parts to then build spaceships and elements and machines, etc. Elements are your machines and stuff like that, and your engines, your wingtips, etc. All of that type of stuff. I'm going to sum it up just to, not make this video last hours, because I probably could. Now, the industry's been rebalanced. The idea behind this, as JC himself puts it, is in DU, he wants it so, orgs can trade together, use the marketplaces, and work together. Players need to work together to get something. His exact analogy was this, is while the gigafactories or big factories, you've seen ours, I'll put it on screen now, are fantastic in game, that shouldn't be how the game is played to a degree. Essentially, say if I'm a player, I want to get a spaceship, I can't build all the parts myself, I need to go and shop around for some parts. It's a bit like, and I use this on stream, if you want to buy an iPhone, so my iPhone is in my hand right now, when I think of buying it, I don't think how to build it from scratch. No, I go around to the Apple Store, or if I'm being really cheap, I go on eBay, etc. I shop around and find the best deal to buy the device or part I am looking for. That's kind of what this update has occurred of DU and how it's gone down. That's sort of a simple explanation and the way the developers have sold it to us, the player base. Now, industry has been entirely rebalanced, so machines now use an item called schematic. They're basically schematic items. They are under recipes, they are now called schematics as well. That's basically what it is. Recipes are now called schematics. So schematics basically are recipes. This is how you're going to build certain items. Now, schematics, or recipes if you like, have to be loaded into industry machines. The first knife in the side, I guess you could class it as, comes in the fact machines, if you don't have the right talent points, are now completely locked to you. So even if you've been playing industry for the last month or two, or the last day if you're a new player, you'll find your machines when you log in are now locked to you, meaning you need to use some of your talent points to unlock certain features, or certain machines, should I say, particularly the basic ones. Then by the time you get to the advanced ones, they're probably going to cost a little bit more as well. You get my point. It's a bit of a down on that one. I logged into my factory just a minute ago before recording this video to find I could access none of my machines. Luckily, I've banked away a fair amount of my talent points, so I could quickly train them, and voila, I was back in operation pretty quickly. Now, the whole factory setup is going to have to be completely redone inside of the game by players, because it's completely changed differently now. To interject here, I want to quickly say, yes, this is a beta phase development of the game. These updates and rebalances are expected, and while they are disappointing, they ultimately are needed for the game for the long run, essentially. It's better having this now than, say, like a year or two down the road when we may be in full release and there's a ton more players running around. Yes, I completely understand the way this update has been received by certain members of the community. I'm not particularly impressed with this, particularly the handling of this update. I will say, for this massive change which has occurred in industry, it would have been nice if NQ, Novaquark, could have given us maybe a couple more days ahead of time notice, so people could maybe change their stuff ahead of time, or make sure it's all working, so when the update dropped, it wasn't such a radical slap in the face to some of the players. Again, I'm trying to keep positive and give constructive criticism around here. At the end of the day, I'll stand by my point. This is a rebalancing update, and rebalance is needed in any game. It's always a good sign as well, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. However, NQ have done a good job in most of the improvements they've done today. My main qualm mostly is with the industry and how that's been handled, and how the communication isn't quite clear on that. It's one thing I personally would say that Novaquark needs to do a little bit of a better job on right now, is communication in general. And this is by no means disrespect to the developers or any of the fantastic staff they have currently got working for them over at Novaquark. I've interacted with some of the developers, they're fantastic and lovely people. However, I feel like the general communication strategy does need a bit of an update. Now, at the time of recording this video, JC, the creative director and CEO of Novaquark, is going to be doing a live chat inside of the community Discord server, which I'll link down below tomorrow, and I believe that's Thursday. I'll stick the time on screen if I remember, and you can go chat with JC and ask him your questions. He'll answer yours, hopefully. So basically, some more communication is there. That's a step in the right direction. However, the dev live stream that took place on Monday, I believe, wasn't the best thing in the world. It's really hard to say positive about this one. However, I feel like they should have given JC or had him write down some bullet points that we were to talk about, so then we could have got a bit of an update on what the stream is about and what was actually being talked about. Talking about this rebalancing is a very vague topic, and not everyone has time to sit through an hour and a half live stream of JC chatting. As much as I'd like to, I can only sit through 45 minutes if I had to go off and do something else. You get my point now? I feel like communication could be improved around this, particularly communication between players and also the developers as well. Now, other improvements that have come with this update are actually fantastic, to be honest. Honeycomb materials for the following products have been added: Duralium, Grade 5 Titanium Alloy, Magna Alloy, Margin Steel, etc. Now, there's also a couple of new graphics effects as well. There's the new HUD improvements, there's fixed Atmo vertical boost electric direction, added a space blueprint icon, fixed the gate M. There's a ton of fixes and improvements that have come with this update. Were actually really good. One of my favorite ones is the lighting section. Now using Lua code or just manually, you can actually change the color of lights. So if you're like me and want to change to red alert mode every 5 minutes, you can now have that, and it's fantastic, as I love it. In regards to sort of a community opinion around this, like I say, it's been rather split across the player base, I would say. A lot of people are basically saying this has ruined the game, or it's, stopped the game, etc. And there isn't much detail surrounding it in a way. Some people are praising the Lua speed of thing, which is fantastic. But, one of the critiques I'll have for this update is I feel if you're a single player on Dual Universe, you're now at a significant disadvantage, which is a double-edged sword, because in one way, it's great for people like me who run orgs, meaning single players are going to have to come to me as an org leader or many other orgs out there. On the other end, if you are a single player, it's now going to be a lot more difficult to run your industry and make parts, etc. One of the big issues we're already noticing in-game right now is a lot of orgs and players basically banked some components or various things to go and sell to the marketplace as soon as this update dropped. Well, Novaquark actually removed the AI buy and sell orders from the marketplaces as far as I know, so basically at the minute, you can't go and sell those components, so the marketplace is sort of frozen right now in a way, and this whole update was done in an attempt to basically get the markets and trading working a lot better in the game, to also give birth to that sort of player-ran economy, which I will say is a fantastic idea, though a constructive criticism here is Novaquark really should have released the org wallets. At the minute, if you're running an org, like myself and many others out there is no org wallet, meaning you can't trust players or have like a finance division if you're an organization to actually handle a finance. You have to give all your credits to one person. Now, if we went back a couple of months ago, people leaving orgs and taking everything with them was a big deal and a very heated discussion within the DU community. Now, without org wallets, we're doing the same thing again. We're giving all our resources to one person, or letting them have all of our money, and if they run off and lose the org or leave it, we're stuffed. It's kind of a bit of a bad idea. Ideally, org wallet should have come with this update. Yes, it's going to take time to actually develop it, and I suppose we will see it at a later date. I just felt it's a bit of a criticism. Org wallet should have been with this update. It's a shame they're not, but hey, hopefully in the future. The aim of this update and the way it was sold by JC is a bit of a player interaction and incentive to basically building enough of civilization. Basically, we need to work together, essentially. Players and orgs need to work together to build the civilization. We aren't each one civilization, we are the civilization, if that makes sense. So while you've got all these orgs running around, one thing we noticed is several orgs could specialize in certain things. So Redwood could focus on building engines or something like that, and another org could focus on building wingtips or voxel materials. Trading in between then allows you to build those things. At the minute, I think it's going to take about a week or two for players to get used to it, and while this is a great patch, it is rather a pain in the ass at the same time. It is a bit of a shame, but hey, it is development at the end of it. It's literally the only thing I can come back to saying is it is beta development. And while it is sort of disappointing and off-putting, we'll get over it and we'll continue playing it. It's just one of those updates that had to be done, and I think it's a bit of a rough how it's done. I will say I do hope NQ include or improves their communication. I love how I'm commenting on someone's communication when I can't even get my words out. But you do get my point. I do hope they improve their communication, because at the end of the day, it would make a lot of sense, to be honest. I'm interested in your thoughts on this update to Dual Universe. Please do let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, as I would definitely like to hear them. End of day, I'll include the patch notes down below in the DevBlogs so you can give them a read for yourself. Do let me know if you're actively playing Dual Universe right now and what you think of this update. If you've stopped for any reason, please also do let me know, as I'm interested in your feedback. I think, this change had to be made, and we're hoping we can see some further updates sometime next year. I'll probably make a video next week giving you a tour around our base or covering some other aspects, and if you'd like to see that, please do let me know. For now, everyone, I've been Captain Jack. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.